Good morning, guys. I'm coming to you today to just bring you a brief message on what I've written for my possible meeting with Trump. So I'm just going to go over it really quick. Our generation is the new America. We are the future of the United States. It seems like just yesterday that our fathers and mothers were teaching us to ride our bikes and taking us to the first grade. Look at us now, soon to be adults, soon to be leaders of the greatest country in the world. In the 16 years I've been on this planet, I have seen an attack on our nation, an economy in pieces, and relationships between citizen and peacekeepers disappear. Our nation is in shambles. It desperately needs change, and I am devoted to making that happen. Growing up, I was taught to love thy neighbor, show everyone you come across respect, and to give more than you receive. I think every American should live their lives with those three simple principles in mind. When I think of my responsibility to America, I think of the American people. Everyday working class people that are overlooked by the government. My responsibility is to bring serious change to this country. On a daily basis, I see violence between Americans, murders, robberies, and hate crimes swarm social media, and news stations also. Our nation revolves around other citizens on their worst days of their lives. This is not how America should be. American people were not meant to prey upon the lives of another. In the past 16 years, I have seen heartbreak, anger, and severe regret for the American people. Innocent lives lost in heartless acts of violence. I have to put a stop to this. I strongly feel that if I work diligently, I will make a huge impact on this country. However, I cannot do this alone. I will need the help from other future leaders. I have huge dreams, but I know I cannot go straight to the top. I will run for office here in Georgia to put my ideas to work. One of the main problems our country has is gun control. I do not plan to take guns away from law-abiding citizens. I plan to take them out of the hands of murderers. Guns no longer need to be sold on the internet or in newspapers. Most of the people that do not need to be in possession of a weapon get access to them because of the internet. I will completely shut down the distribution of weapons on social media and quick sell sites. I know this will not stop the distribution of illegal weapons in its entirety, but I believe that it will eliminate most of the problems we face. I will work closely with the leaders of law enforcement agencies across the state of Georgia to implement ways of getting illegal weapons off of our streets and out of the hands of our convicted felons. Another huge task that the government faces is ways of getting resources to citizens who are not capable of working to earn to support their families. Giving benefits to people who are in need is a great thing. However, when the country decides to do something like this, there are going to be people who try to cheat their way into getting these benefits when they do not need them. This needs to be investigated, and the citizens that are getting this need to have investigation put into them. We need to implement more secure ways of getting these families what they need. Life is hard. Every American understands that fact. I never want to see a citizen in this country not receive the help that they need. Education is a big thing for children nowadays. Any steady job requires either a GED or high school diploma. I want to decrease the number of high school dropouts by bringing real-life experiences to high schools across the country. Most of the core curriculum taught in schools are just basic classes to get you through 10 months of school, and then you're on to it the next year. We need to bring classes to the schools that will give the young adults hands-on training for the upcoming adult lives. Classes such as resume writing, financial and saving plans, and organization need to be taught in our local schools. Another technique to get children more excited to learn would be to have more hands-on classes. Classes are built on getting all the curriculum out of the students instead of making sure everyone understands and reaches their maximum potential. The education system needs to be renewed and reconstructed to have the student in mind. This will help with job opportunities in the future for students. I believe that the reconstruction of the education platform, there will be less high school dropouts and the number of citizens unemployed will decrease. Everyone has the chance to reach full potential. We just need to connect more with children and let them know that we are here to help them through life with their future. The last thing I want to cover is relationships between citizens and law enforcement officials. I grew up around law enforcement, and I was always taught to respect them for putting on that badge and protecting our lives every day. Over the years, tactics and ways of policing have changed tremendously. With the smartphone becoming a way of everyday life, a lot more cases of illegal detainment and racial profiling have risen. With the shortages of police officers in the past years, police departments have offered higher salaries but have lacked on sufficient training for the officers that they employ. This seems to be a serious problem when it comes to the many officer-involved shootings we see on a national television daily. Let me be clear before I say this. Every profession has a couple of bad apples, but I don't want the American people thinking that officers are out to shoot them when they come in contact with them. The invention of the body camera has come in handy with police departments. The invention does not help with officer and citizen safety, but it helps with investigations and false reports against officers and departments. I strongly feel that there should be laws passed to where every law enforcement officer is required to be equipped with at least one body-worn camera when they come in contact with a citizen in question. Body cameras are always a great resource, but nothing beats training. Police officers are trained to keep the peace, and they are our number one tool for fighting crime in our states and cities. Racial profiling is a serious problem in most cities, and there are ways to fight this. The American people need to understand that a major problem with word getting out about officer-involved shootings is the media. Most of the stories you see on TV are misconstrued. There are so many shootings that happen in the U.S., and not even half of them make it to the screens because it is not interesting to you and I. We need to find restrictions for the media.